Hey guys, so today's video is another video in my makeup collection series I'm doing. I'm splitting up my makeup collection in sections. So I did foundations a few days ago. I will link foundations down below if you want to see my full foundation collection. Today we are going to tackle primers. I'm going to show you my entire primer collection and where I keep it in my drawer. And even though for foundations I had a really cute setup and the foundations look really pretty, that's not the case for my primers. They're really just thrown in my drawer. So it's not much about storage, this one. I gotta say. I'm not very good with storing my primers. If you have any advice, any tips, what I can do to store my primers in a better way, please let me know. I plan on doing these kinds of videos maybe twice a month. Is that good enough for you guys, or do you want me to spread it out more? Is this like too soon? Also, let me know what you want to see next in this makeup collection and storage series I'm doing. So yeah, if you want to see all the primers I own and what I think about my primers, then just keep watching. First of all, have you seen a cuter dog before in your life? No. So as you guys know, I showed you this in my last makeup collection video. I keep my foundations in the top drawer. Today, we are tackling this drawer. This drawer for some reason is hard to open. Ah, what a mess. So this is where I keep my primers. I have my primers all along here. I keep my high-end concealers here, and then I keep my drugstore concealers here, and then I keep my BB creams, tinted moisturizers, all that jazz back here. I was gonna do this entire drawer in one video, but it was gonna be 50 minutes long. So next time I do this drawer, I'm gonna do my tinted moisturizers and my concealers in one video because I can go through these pretty quickly. So let me know if that's what you wanna see next, my tinted moisturizers and my concealers. So feel free to give me any advice on how to store these things, because right now it's like, oh, you see this one's supposed to be standing up. This one as well. I also need to upgrade my storage. Let me try to organize this. So I'm gonna start off with these primers and then I'll talk about the ones in the back. I keep all the 2B style primers here laying down, and then I keep the ones in the bottles standing up just because I don't know how else to store these. I would like to store them standing up, but I need a better strategy. I have the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Pore Refining Primer. I got this because I think Nicole Guerrero was raving about this a lot at one point, so I picked it up based on her recommendation, and I actually really love this primer. It leaves your skin so silky, so smooth. I don't typically go for the pore filling type of primer because I have very dry skin, so I prefer a primer that's very hydrating, and these tend to be not so moisturizing, but I actually love using this in combination with a more hydrating primer. I'll just take a very small amount of this and tap it right into my pores, and I swear it vanishes them. Out of all the pore filling primers I've ever tried, I think this is the best one in my opinion. It really does fill in your pores. This is the Embryolisse Le Creme Concentrate. I picked this up because my friend Gabby really loves this. This is a great moisturizing primer, very hydrating. A lot of makeup artists use this. It's a really nice base product to work with, especially if you have dry skin. This isn't gonna fill in your pores or anything. It's just extremely hydrating. Oh my gosh, I just realized I didn't have my other light turned on. No wonder I was like, man, it's looking kind of dark. No point in leaving this pillow here because I'm not using it. Okay, back to what I was saying. This isn't gonna fill in your pores or anything. It's just a really great hydrating base. It feels more like a skincare product versus an actual primer. At one point, I had all of the Makeup Forever Step 1 skin equalizers. Now I have 2. I've kind of given away the other ones. I wasn't really using any of them. Oh wait, no, I don't have 2, I have 3. Where's my other one? Oh no, wait, I did give that away. Okay, I'm losing my mind. Wow, this video is all over the place. Okay, I found myself constantly using these and not any of the other ones. I have the green one. This is the Redness Correcting Primer. Anytime I have a skin irritation where my face is really red, this is the primer I will wear. I always keep it on deck for that reason. I don't use it all the time because I only use it when I have a lot of redness, but it's a faithful one, so I keep it with me. And then this one is the Hydrating Primer. It's my favorite out of all of them. It's very soothing on the skin. It almost feels cooling when I put it on. It's very lightweight. I love the consistency. It's kind of milky, but it's just not thick at all, not greasy. I wear this when my skin is feeling pretty normal, not when it's extremely dry, because when it's a little bit too dry, I need to use a different kind of primer. But I love this. This is the Cover FX Illuminating Primer. I actually haven't had this one for that long. I want to say I used to have this primer, but I don't remember. And I don't remember if I love it or not, but they recently sent this to me. I'm thinking they changed the formula or something. Not sure. I have to play around with this a little bit more, but I love anything illuminating, and I love Cover FX. They make great products. So I'm sure you'll hear me talk about this the more I play around with it. It has such a pretty finish. Very glowy, but not too greasy. It feels really, really nice. This is the Laura Geller Spackle Hydrating Moisturizing Under Makeup Primer. This one also feels really lightweight, but it's a little bit thicker. It's a little bit stickier than the Makeup Forever one. Definitely not as watery. This one it's a little bit more hydrating. It feels more like a typical moisturizer. This stuff is awesome. I actually really, really love this primer. I find it to be very moisturizing, but very long wearing at the same time. It's one of those primers that makes my makeup last a really long time on my skin, and most hydrating primers really can't offer that, so I really like this one. This is the NYX Born to Glow Illuminating Primer. One of my favorite drugstore primers. It's such a pretty iridescent sheen on the face. It is intense, but in the most beautiful way ever. It's very, very, very glowy. I love wearing this underneath more matte foundations because it just gives it a pick-me-up, gives life to dull skin. It's a really good one, and it gives you such a beautiful sheen to the face without looking greasy or heavy. I highly recommend this one if you are looking to glow. Not so much to be moisturized, but to be glowy. This is my favorite drugstore primer. This is the NYX Angel Veil. I love this. This is a dupe for the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer, and I think it's even better than that one. It's oil-free, it's very smoothing, it just makes makeup apply so much nicer. It gives your face kind of like a smooth porcelain feel. Perfect for those of you with oily skin, but I don't find it drying at all, so I do think even those of you with normal to dry skin might like this. I just love how foundation applies on top of it. This is like a big bottle. I don't remember where I got this from. I'm like almost out of this. I need to purchase another one. NYX Angel Veil is the good stuff. I want to talk about these two as one because I find them to be almost identical. This is the Too Faced Hangover RX Replenishing Face Primer, and then this one is the Glossier Priming Moisturizer. I'm going to talk about both of them because I have the exact same thing to say about both of them. Well, okay, this one by Too Faced smells really good. It smells like coconuts. It has coconut water in it. It's very, very hydrating. It has that milky consistency similar to the Makeup Forever one, but this one is way, way more hydrating. It's a little bit more nourishing, and this just sinks right into the skin, and it really does hydrate the crap out of your face, and the same goes for this guy. It has the same milky texture, the same consistency, and it's ultra hydrating. These are my two most hydrating foundations. Like, when my skin is dry as can be, I will pop these guys on. I do think that the Glossier one is just a hair more moisturizing. This is the primer I go to when my skin is the driest, but they're both very, very similar. This is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Primer, Oil-Free Poreless Skin Perfecting Serum Primer. I know not a lot of people like this, but I really love this. I feel like it's a combination between a pore filler and a more hydrating primer because I feel like it does both. It sinks into the skin and it helps smooth out the skin and fill in the pores, but at the same time it's not drying the way other pore fillers are. It almost feels silky. The Dior Glow Maximizer Light Boosting Primer is your best friend if you want to look like Jenny from the block. It is my most glowy primer for sure. It has such a beautiful golden sheen as opposed to my other primers that are a little bit more pearly. This one has a gold reflex to it. I don't know if you could tell in the back of my hand right there, but on the face, when you apply this primer, you look like Jennifer Lopez. Or at least that's what I tell myself. I mean, look at the difference. The bottom one is Jenny from the block, and the top one is just Kathleen. It's not hydrating by any means, but it just gives you a golden glow from within. And then I have these two from Laura Mercier. This is the foundation primer. They're both in Radiance, only one is Radiance Bronze and one is the regular Radiance. The one in Radiance was my go-to for a really long time. If you've watched any of my primer videos, you know that this one holds a very special place in my heart. I used this for like a year non-stop. It was the only foundation I used off camera. I was addicted to this at one point. I do say that I like it more than the Dior one because sometimes the Dior one can get a little bit too thick. It'll clump up right here at the top, and that can drive me crazy. It's still amazing, but the Laura Mercier one is a little bit more toned down, a little bit more wearable. If you still want a really pretty golden glow underneath your foundation, but you don't want it to be too much, I would recommend this one. And then the Radiance Bronze one, I used to love using this in the summer. I would mix it in with the regular Radiance because alone it's a little bit too dark for me, as you can tell. But this on your face in the summertime, oh my gosh. It gives your face such a beautiful warmth. I don't think these primers make my makeup last longer, they just make my makeup look prettier. So, I like that. Okay, so let's talk about these guys back here. I have the Guerlain primer with the gold flecks in it. I'm not sure what the name is. Radiance Concentrate with Pure Gold. This primer is like an arm and a leg. I bought it to review in my luxury makeup video. Honestly, I was probably the wrong candidate for this. It's supposed to be very firming and lifting. It's probably better for those with mature skin because I felt like it really didn't do anything for me. So honestly, I just don't find any use for this. I'm actually gonna give this to my mom because I feel like she might really like this. All right. I don't know why I've been holding on to that. This is the LC Pearl Radiance Primer. I picked this up because I heard Jaclyn Hill raving about it and I really like it. It's not my favorite, but I haven't really played around with it that much. It feels a lot like the IT Cosmetics one I spoke about, but it feels more hydrating, a little bit more moisturizing. But I really like how it feels on the skin, and foundation applies really nicely on top. I have to play around with it a little bit more, but so far so good. This is the Kat Von D Hydrating Primer Base. I've only used this like 2 times, so I can't tell you how I feel about it. I don't know, I'm on the fence. It has that typical milky consistency that a lot of hydrating primers do, but I don't know what makes this one stand out from the rest of them. I don't know, it just feels a little bit too ordinary for me. That sounds weird, I don't know. I have to play around with it a little bit more. I've only used it twice. I liked it when I used it, but it's not my favorite. I gotta test it out more. The Imani Perfect 10 Primer Serum is probably one of my favorite primers of all time. It does so many things. It has like 10 benefits to it. Very natural ingredients. It has kind of like a sticky feeling on the skin, but I feel like that is what helps the foundation stay and cling onto my face. It makes my foundation last a really long time, but it's very hydrating. Not too sticky, not like gross sticky, but I mean, it's tacky. It holds on to that foundation. I love this so much. I feel like it creates a really nice barrier between your foundation and your face. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Oil. This stuff is pretty good, but it's definitely not my favorite primer oil. I have other primers that have this kind of consistency that I prefer, so it's not my favorite, but it is really good. It's also really nice to mix in with your foundations if you have a foundation that's a little bit too matte. But the oily primer I really do love is this. This is the Hourglass No. 28 Primer Serum, Hydrating and Anti-Aging. This stuff is so expensive. Oh, that's expensive, but it's so amazing. Like I'm telling you guys, unless you have chronic dry skin, do not wear this. It's pretty much like an oil, and when you rub this into your face, I don't know, it transforms your dry skin. It just feels so intensely nourishing, but I don't find that it slips and slides or that it's like oily and greasy and weird. Awesome if you have like thick dry patches on your skin, especially in the winter. I love this. I have these 2 primers by IT Cosmetics. I have the Feel the Moment Skin Rejuvenating Hydrating Primer Serum, and I have the No. 50 Serum Collagen Veil Anti-Aging Primer. This primer is very similar to the Hourglass one, like very similar. I just haven't played around with this one enough to see if I like it as much as the Hourglass one, but I really do like it. Very hydrating, very nourishing, one of those oily primers that I recommend to those of you with super dry skin. And then this one is really nice too because it kind of feels like a skincare product. It's like you're applying a really delicious serum-y skincare product underneath your foundation. Has that milky texture, but it's different. I don't know how to explain it. It kind of feels like it's smoothing out the skin and perfecting it while it's hydrating it at the same time. The Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer is a cult favorite, I feel, but I stand by my word. I think the NYX Angel Veil is better than this one. I feel like they do the exact same thing, so why pay more for this one when you can get this one? I don't know. They're both really incredible, not gonna lie. That is why I keep this, because it is really good. It smooths out the skin. It kind of makes your face feel porcelain-like. I don't know, very strange consistency, but it's good. I have the Natasha Denona Face Glow Primer Hydrating Underbase. Can you believe I've had this in my drawer for months and I haven't used it yet? I might have used it once or twice, but I don't remember. I need to get on this because I remember being so excited to own it, yet I haven't really put it to the test. But I will, I promise you, I will. And then the last primer back here is this thing. These are one of those products I don't use, but I keep just in case. You ever have those things like, oh, I need to keep that, you know, just in case? This is the Murad Invisiblur Perfecting Shield Broad Spectrum SPF 30. Blurs and protects. I keep this because it's cool. I mean, it's a SPF, but it's also a pore filling primer. I heard people rave about this. I don't know. I don't go for things like this. Usually I'll use a different kind of sunscreen, but I don't know. This might be a really good thing for the summer. Well, that's the last of it. Okay guys, so those were all of my primers. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment down below if you have a primer that you really love that I don't currently have, or that you haven't seen me talk about in the past, because maybe I got rid of it, but I don't know, you know. Let me know, maybe I will check it out. But yeah, that completes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Oh crap.